Welcome everybody to Talking Sports 44. And I have mentioned I am making a name called Talk Sports 44, the Bulldog, which it's a very good name apparently. If you guys like the name, comment down, subscribe, and like, comment, subscribe, and make sure what I can do. I mean, I'm doing this for some reason. This is very good, and I haven't come up with a name, so let me know in the comments down below if you like it or not. The name itself, and we'll go from there. Now, I want to talk about Sunday night and Monday Night Football. I'm going to get through the topics here. Just to be safe on this, we're going to start working on this if the fan doesn't blow it off. But I'm going to talk about Sunday night's games first. Tampa Bay versus Atlanta was 23-20. It wasn't supposed to be that close of a game. But Tampa Bay versus Atlanta, very good, very agile. This is week one here. And it was not that bad of a game. I mean, two close games so far, and it was very crazy. Tampa Bay could have scored a little bit more, but they're penalized, the offensive coordinator and all that, you know. It was ridiculous. Totally ridiculous than anything else. And it fit the profile, but it worked. Now on to game two, New York Jets versus Pittsburgh Steelers, another close game. Pittsburgh won the game, but I want New York Jets to win for some obvious reason. But 32-34, it came another close game. Within that week, it was nuts. It was crazy. I mean, 3 close games here, and this is crazy. I put these as my top 3. Then we had Ravens and Buffalo Bills, 41-40. I mean, another close game. It was crazy. All these 3 teams have been, all the teams that I announced for Sunday, that was crazy. I mean, for a Sunday night game, it was crazy. Knowing that, it was nuts. I mean, no matter what we do, if any of the teams do this again, this is going to be a close season. They all play their hearts out. They all play their hearts out. Apparently, they did very good. They did very excellent. The only problem I have is the play calling, the penalties. Reps have got to learn how to work that out. My job's out there, that will work. But though, they could have done it. They could have done a lot better. They could have done a lot smoother. Tampa Bay should have scored more. That game could have been close. Tampa Bay might go back on top this season. And they haven't been on top since Tony Dungy led that team and went to the playoffs and won the Super Bowl. I remember he went to the playoffs again, but then Gruden took it. You know, that was all Dungy's work. Now Tampa Bay might have a chance to go to the playoffs, win the Super Bowl, but only time to tell with that. Atlanta Falcons, I don't know. Their record does stand. From last season, I heard it wasn't that bad. I seen their record last season, the season before that. They might go to the Super Bowl, but I'm not getting my chickens. Buccaneers might be a Super Bowl contender for the season, for their division. You know, they might be a Super Bowl contender. New York Jets and Pittsburgh, that was too close of a game. I mean, Matt Larry might be right. It might be good for Super Bowl contender for the most part. It was just crazy, to say the least. They might be good for Super Bowl contender, but they got their first loss. If they have another loss, I doubt they're going to be Super Bowl contenders. Pittsburgh played their butts off to defeat the Jets. It was crazy. Really crazy, to say the least, but it worked. Ravens and Buffalo, they did excellent. That game could have been close. I miscalculated because Buffalo barely scored. I had 20-13. I crossed that out. Next thing I know, Buffalo's up by 7. Ravens are up by almost a point. And I was like, how? How could this happen? Now they were just, I think Buffalo was screwing them over. They screwed over, they fucked up. They were playing possum. And apparently, yeah, they did that. It was very good. I mean, I don't see that in any sports team that much anymore. They play possum where they don't play their hearts out, and then all of a sudden, at the last second, at the fourth or third, it's quarter or fourth inning of baseball, at the sixth inning of baseball, the other team plays their hearts out. Same with basketball. Let's say you got Buffalo, well, Chicago Bulls versus Miami. Miami just played good. Buffalo is leading, let's say, 70 points up to 65. Then, let's say Miami wins 90 over 99. Or 100. Let's go for 100. Let's say Miami Heat wins over 100 up to 99 against Chicago. Let's say that. It's perfect. I mean, playing possum is what they're doing today in today's sports. Not a big fan of it. Not a big, huge fan, but that's what's happening today in sports. But the injury that was on Monday night between Minnesota and Chicago, the player that got injured, and it was crazy how he got injured. He just went down. And by the way, Minnesota dominated over Chicago, 27-24. But the injury, they might replace this player. He got hit pretty hard, where he couldn't stand for the next couple of days. They might give him a second evaluation until the next game. They might let him out, let him keep playing. But he went back in. But I would say, give the guy a second evaluation. Give him a day rest. Call him back into the office, get the medical bay. Give him a second evaluation. Let the coach look at him. Let the owner look at him if he has to. And work that term up to where if he's allowed to play next week. But no, they also play their hearts out. Vikings and Chicago. They both play their hearts out very good. And I wanted Minnesota to win anyway. I really wanted to. I did watch some of the gameplays. I did watch some of the games. But it wasn't that bad. It was totally not that bad. If this would have worked. Now, if Buccaneers do lose another game, maybe 2 down the road, they got to work with their defense. Their offense, maybe get back in the coaching staff, get back over the camp. If I was a coach, I would start working with my offensive line, no matter what. Defense, working in the second week before I go back to playing another football game. New York Jets, I would say work on something. It's the first day of the season, but it wasn't that bad for New York Jets. They got to fix their uprising. Something wrong with the defense, something wrong with the offense. I think a lot of the coaches have to get back in the war room, go to the practice run until they play their next game. Ravens and Buffalo, they did very good. I mean, awesome. 2 great teams, 2 hard teams, but it was cold there. Reason why I thought it was going to end 20-13 is because of the weather. It was cold there in Buffalo. It was freezing, almost below 0. But when you're in Buffalo and somewhere in New York, I mean, it's crazy. I thought it was going to be that close of a game. But then Monday night, Minnesota and Chicago, 27-24, another close game. I wanted Minnesota to win anyway, but I was rooting for Chicago to win because I think Chicago needs to win some games. And not get another coaching staff, get something in the pocket to work. Buccaneers have got to step up, get back in the training room, get back in with the staff, talk to your offensive coordinator, talk to your head coach, the offensive coordinator, talk within your office in the war room, do what you have to do. But the Buccaneers have to step up. And I think they will. Maybe by next week, week 2, they might step up. Knowing if they do, they do. It happens. But Monday night, that was crazy. Monday night between Chicago and the Minnesota Vikings, it was insane. Total anarchy. Now the player that got injured, they might let him back on the field for next week. Might not. He has to go through psych evaluation. He got hit pretty hard as far as I see. I mean, everybody gets injured in sports, and for the most part, they do get injured in sports, but how can they work it out? It's crazy to say the least. They do good, but when you get injured like that, but they walk back on the field. If I was that coach right now, I would just call that player in, saying, look, go with the medical staff, get evaluated. I'll train you for the next 2 or 3 days before we go back on the road or at home before I let you play again. If I was that coach, I would say it to him. I mean, nicely, of course. But it would be the well-being of my players. For the most part, it would be the well-being of my players. I would have the safety of my players. That would be the first priority I would have. As for New York Jets, kudos to Matt O'Leary's team and his boys that does the podcast with him, Talking Jets. I feel sorry for you guys in a heartbeat. The game should have been that close. You could have scored another touchdown and end the game with Pittsburgh. And my mind was on New York. They would have scored. They would have scored good. But it was like, how could they have scored? I'm not saying completely dominate. But my mind was on New York. And all of a sudden, Pittsburgh cuts it close to 1 point. They were down by 2. But pretty close games. I'll work on probably from next week to doing Thursday night football. To the most part, it was pretty good. Overall, the games were good. But that was Sunday night. We're working on Thursday night. I'll start another podcast after Thursday night. But that's all from Talking Sports with me, JonahVick, the Bulldog. Talking Sports for the Bulldog with me, JonahVick. But next time, JonahVick sign off. Take care.